In John chapter 4, verse 35, Jesus asked his disciples a question. He said, "Don't you guys have a saying, there are still 4 months and then comes the harvest?" And then he went on to say, "But I say to you, lift up your eyes and look at the fields. They are already white for harvest." And of course, he was talking about the crowds of people that were right at that very moment on their way to him from the city of Sycar to hear him preach the gospel. And right away, it's clear that Jesus sees the harvest of souls differently than most of us do. Most of us, when we think about the people in the circles of our lives' influence coming to faith, we think of it as a future event, something we are still working toward, that we are still planting and watering and feeding and pruning. There's work to be done. But Jesus said, no. He said, others have sown, others have labored, you get to reap. The harvest is now. Now, the other day, one of my grandsons, who's almost 3, was with me, and I asked him to show me the vegetable garden that he had helped his other set of grandparents plant on a fenced-off area on their property. And so we were on our way walking there, and getting close enough that I could see the rows of vegetables and flowers. Even though we weren't close enough for me to see the signs that indicated which variety was which, I could tell the tomato plants. And I could see that there were a lot of green tomatoes. And I thought to myself, they're going to have a sizable harvest of tomatoes in a little bit. And right about that point, my grandson, who'd been walking right by my side, took off like a bolt of lightning and ran for those tomato plants. And before I knew it, he'd grabbed hold of the only red, ripe tomato in the bunch, pulled it off the plant, and ate it in about 3 bites. And I was like stunned. I thought, whoa, did I just witness my grandson eat a tomato of his own free will without being forced to? And then when I got past the shock of that little statistic, I thought, I never even saw the red tomato. But my grandson, that's the only one he saw. I think when Jesus surveys the planting of his gospel garden, he tends to focus on the red ones. I want to do more of that too.